Hey, my name is Chris UX. I'm the founder of the Spy Agency here in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is a video for designers to kind of let you know that if you're a new designer looking for opportunities to work and get some real world experience, and I know it's experience is hard to get, but you still have to be picky about the work you're doing. You know what I mean? Because like you can easily get caught up with a bad startup or working with bad people who take advantage of you or try to take advantage of your skills. And it's okay to do free work as you're learning. If you had the bandwidth to do so, just to get some experience, that's fine. But you don't want to just give that free work out to anybody. You want to give it to a company or startup that you can really benefit from as a case study, that you can see yourself to be successful. Because too often, I know for me, I come across startups all the time. New startup pop up every day. But also a 90% failure rate within the first year of a startup. And most cases is because a person has this great idea for an app or a product and they want to jump straight to development and skip the whole UX process, or they just trying to get you on the back end of things. Where a person who really care about their product and they really understand how to launch a successful product, they understand that they need to have a UX designer from the very beginning. Because too often I come across a startup where the first thing they're showing you is UI designs already. They just had the idea 2 weeks ago. At this stage, you shouldn't be designing anything, to be honest. At this point, you should be trying to flesh out the concept and gathering research and see if that's something that people really want. It should be a ton of research. You should be still in the research stage of things, so you know what you're designing. Because you remember, because you're not a graphic designer, you're a UX designer, and UX design is based off the research. You know, so yeah, I mean, you can have something that looks good and have something that's completely not functional at all, or you could sketch out a product or app with features that people don't even want, and all that could be avoided if they did some research beforehand. Like a lot of startups understand that, yeah, it may cost you some money to get a UX designer up front, but it saves you a lot of money on the back end of things. Because too often I see these startups want to go straight into development and develop this product, and then try to fix it on the back end. And now you got to undo all the work your dev work has done, and you can't undo the money you already spent. But there could be money spent that could have been avoided if you did the research ahead of time to know, like, oh, you know what, people that really don't want this, they prefer this. Uh, and you don't want to be part of that process. You don't want to be part of a startup like that, because it won't be worth your time in the end. I mean, because they're wasting their time and they'll be wasting your time. So when you vetting, so same way, you trying to get experience and they vetting you, you should be vetting them as well. And see where they at, see where their heads at. I know for me, I don't look at just the product. I look at the leadership. Leadership is a big thing for me, because to see how they run things and how they think and how they move. Because I feel like you're moving kind of scammy. I don't want any parts of that. Or I feel like you're a person like takes shortcuts. I don't want any parts of that. So or you telling me that you just started the startup 2 weeks ago and you're already making the product. I don't think we're any part of that, because every time my first question is going to ask you, have you done research yet? And then and what do you learn from it? You know, there's one thing, you have a whole bunch of research you can show me, and then you need somebody to come in and design based off that research. Okay, cool. But in most cases, they haven't done the research. Their version of research is talking to some friends who gave some decent feedback, and then of course the friends probably gave them some good feedback because they don't want to hurt their feelings. And it's still very limited research, right? Like, you really got to dive deep, because that's part of your job as UX designer. Like, people hear the word UX design and they automatically think UI, and that's not always the case at all. It's really understanding the user, and that's your job. You shouldn't be designing anything unless you understand who the user is. So, this is a quick video. Just kind of keep that in mind. Don't let them just vet you, vet them. And same thing, not just comes to internships, that comes to jobs you're applying for as well, as you try to break into tech. Vet the company that you're applying for, and as they interviewing you, you interview them. Because what's good being part of a company where you have a grimy manager, or it's a grimy company that gonna eventually run out of money. Yeah, you may need a job right now, but their job may just drop off, because I'm hearing now, like, some of these startups, they just run out of money, and they let you go, and like it's no heads up, like things like that happen. And I know we live in a state we live in a time right now. Nothing's no such thing as job security. To be honest, I don't think. But you do want to choose the best opportunity possible. They seem like it's the most stable as possible for you to be a part of. So keep that in mind. Like vet them. You know, because like I know here in Atlanta, they will intern you to death, and these people be the most organized people, don't know anything, or they think your job is easy. They think they can do your job, which like makes you wonder why they want a UX designer in the first place if they can do it themselves. So know your value. Even if you just fresh from boot camp or fresh from a certificate program, you do know something more than they do. The same way you invested in that boot camp, the same way you invested in that certificate program for months, there's a lot of information that you have that they don't. There's a lot of things that you can see that they can't. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. But as you know, in a couple of weeks on November 14th, I'll be hosting my first virtual event at UX Sprint Lab. And if you are a new designer looking to get some real world experience, this way to do it only costs you $20. And basically, I'm bringing in a startup. You give you a pitch, and you're gonna be pitching a whole lot of questions back to them. You're gonna be you'll be working in the groups. You also do some Figma sketches as well, just for good practice. And you also be pitching back to them because that's another good practice to have. Because as a UX designer, you got to know how to present back to stakeholders of your work as well. So it's something that you're interested in. There's a Eventbrite link in the post, and check it out. Otherwise, hope you have a great week. Later.